Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. And today we're back with another Microsoft Flight Simulator video. And we're going to be taking a look and reviewing this Wing42 Boeing 247D. It just came out. I've been reading the manual and I flew this for a little bit, did a few touch and goes. And we're going to be reviewing this. I'm also going to be showing you how you can start this manually. It's not one of those aircrafts that you basically start in the runway and just take off. You kind of have to prepare yourself a little bit. Look at this beauty. This is an older aircraft from the 1930s. And it looks quite good. Not perfect. Like, I kind of think there's a rivet. I think this is called a rivet clipping beneath this, maybe. I don't know. But it does look good. Overall, I like this, especially the engines. The engines look amazing. They really do. So the engines are Pratt & Whitney Wasp S1H1G. They are capable of 550 horsepower at 2200 RPM. So they are pretty good and they are beautiful. A little bit under 35,000 engines were produced. 35,000 of these. We have stairs. And if you're wondering, you can open this. There we go. So we do have a little lavatory here with a toilet, a sink. So this is the kind of texture you can expect. This is a cargo compartment. And I will have a link for this aircraft in my description down below if you want to check this out for yourself. It is a payware and it is going for $20. 20 US dollars. It does feel like a study level aircraft. So if you are interested in this, 20 US dollars is a pretty good price considering how most of the other aircraft is priced at. So here it's a little bit blurry. I did buy this aircraft with my own money, so I will say if I think it's worth it or not. And a little bit blurry, but that's okay. This center area, I like this. The wear here, and then the engine. Just like the other engine, it's the same engine. I really like the engine. Really, really well made. And the inside, here on the inside, this is it. We can hide the yoke. Here we have a Luckenheimer dual engine primer. This is the gear indicator. So right here we have a gear and we have 3 positions. We have up, down, and neutral. In the middle it's neutral. Temperature. So here you can select what kind of temperature you want. And ideally, you want to keep the engines between 200 and 350. Ideally. So fuel, just pull this. so you can see how much fuel you have. Altitude. I am using live weather. And we are here in beautiful Florida. I will be opening up the VFR map just so you can check out the area. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And it also lets me know you guys enjoy the content. Directional gyro, artificial horizon, attitude indicator. I don't know if this is considered a artificial horizon. I think it's just an attitude indicator. Bank, manifold pressure. So the manifold pressure, you kind of switch between left engine and right engine. We have a clock, our variometer, climb, RPM, self-explanatory, oil temperature, oil pressure, fuel pressure. This right here on top, we have this on both sides. That's the gear warning. Fire extinguisher, self-explanatory, meter. This is for feathering the engines. Manually making the gear go up and down. So we can select the mode right here. Let's take a closer look, shall we? So raise gear, drop gear, and then you kind of move this up and down. Here we have a fuse box. So let's open this. And apparently you can actually blow a fuse. So I'm going to go over the quick views in a second, just so we can check out if there is a fuse box quick view. So this one, control 2, control 3, 4, 5. So here we have the radio. And there are some radios included, so you can actually listen to music. Control 6. So control 6 gives you this view of the left engine, and control 7 gives you this view. And they are very important, and I will tell you why in a bit. Control 8, so passenger view, and control 9, toilet view? I guess that's what I'd call this, but it's like you're at the entrance. So yeah, doesn't look like we have a fuse box quick view. But we can always get up and close. Unconnected fuse clip. So I think these are spares, which is fine. Okay. We have a fuse. Ooh, we have fuse box. I think I blew these, so that's why they were missing. Could be. Could be. That actually makes a lot of sense. Okay. Can we get a new fuse box now? Spare fuses. That would be nice. Can we close this? Okay. I'm using my scroll wheel to close and open this. There's also this right here. Radio fuses. Again, using my scroll wheel. And are we supposed to have a fuse there? I don't know. Unconnected. Long wave. Okay. I'm gonna assume that that's all good. We also have this. We have this compass here. The radio that I did mention. And right here. Let's move back to the first page. So this is what you have when you first pick this up. This is the performance and limitations. Rate of climb. Cruise speed 189 miles per hour and top speed 200. I'm not too sure if it's 200. I think I read in the manual 225. I might be mistaken. I'm going off my memory. And the range, 750 nautical miles, is quite sufficient. Quite a lot. One engine ceiling, 11,500. takeoff 36, RPM 2200. We also have climb, cruise, and fuel consumption. I did glance over this and I completely forgot. So best glide 98 miles per hour. So we do have the airspeed right here. And we can fly quite slow actually. I was actually surprised how slow we can actually fly with this. So this here is how you control your fuel and your weight. So we add a little bit of fuel here, a little bit of fuel here and here, and then we go make it so. We can also add some baggage here and some baggage here. And sadly, we do have to wait for this to basically do its thing. We have a few workers, employees, and they are basically, look, refilling left fuel tank, loading luggage, removing baggage cart. I quite like them. I'm gonna end up learning their names: Howard Miller, Heinrich Adler, and Jack Norton. Okay, so it did get rid of all of these. And if we go outside, yeah, he closed it. So I want to open this and this, just so we can take a look. So front cargo door and rear. So as you can see, now we have some cargo. We actually get cargo here. So it's not just a numbers game. So you load cargo in and cargo actually shows up. That is such a nice detail. The first time I was checking this out, I was like, there's no way there's actual cargo here, right? My mind was blown. So front cargo door, rear cargo door. Now we can actually close the passenger stairs. We can close the door and remove the stairs. Ladder left engine and ladder right engine stay. They stay. Wheel chokes removing. This is the oil. And I say this aircraft is quite in-depth because you actually have to care about your oil. So let's skip this screen. Right here you have your settings, and as you can see I do have all of this enabled. So engine malfunctions, realistic engine start, and electrical failure. We can also open the battery compartment and the gear fairing. The gear fairing is the thing around the gear. We're going to be taking a look at that. So here we have the battery. And I gotta give it to the developers, it does look quite old. Okay, so we just closed the battery compartment, and left engine, we can actually remove all the cowling. So removing all of it. And as you can see, it's falling down. We can actually take a better look at the engine. And look at this beauty. Truly, truly well done. Quite a bit of rust. It does look aged. We can also place oil pens. Oil system. So right here, you have the grade of the oil you can choose. You can swap between Fahrenheit and Celsius. And what you can do is you can top up. And if you go all the way back here, we should be topped up. It's still topping up the tanks, but it's showing up as full. And you should keep an eye on the oil, because you do burn a lot of oil. There we go, we're done. And here we have the radio. You can use this so you can squawk a code if you want to fly on VetSim or Iveo. Basically, if you want to fly online, you can use this, and you can pretty much have any code you want to, you know. ID, mode, on, off, standby, test. Radio equipment. Pretty nice. Here we have the credits. But what we're going to be using is this. If we want to start this aircraft, we have to use this. And this review is also a tutorial on how you can start this aircraft. So control 6 and 7. If you want to do this manually, you're going to have to use control 6 and 7. Because there's a thing here you can use to start spinning the... What's it called? Let's check the book. The flywheel. So you wind up the flywheel and then you mash the flywheel. I'm going to be using the helper here so it's easier for us. But up here you have the flywheel. You're going to turn this, and then you're going to pump the fuel, and then you're going to pull this clutch. Okay. Down here we have friction lock, propeller, throttle, mixture. This is the wobble pump. You use this to pump fuel and build pressure. And you can check the pressure right here. And you have to do this to start the engine. That's why we're going to be using a helper. Oil shutter, it's so you can control the temperature of the oil. So you have to keep an eye on the oil temp right here. And you want this below 165. That's the thing, below 165 and you're good. We have a carb heat, the gear, friction lock, rudder trim, and this is the aileron trim. Here is the elevator trim. And this aircraft does save the stage between flights. So left tank, left on, both. Here we have landing lights, cabin warning. We're going to turn both magnetos on, master ignition switch. Avionics coming on. Radio power. I'm going to keep this off for a bit. Dome lights. Nav lights coming on. Here we have courtesy lights, dome lights, cabin lights, compass light, navigation instrument, engine instrument, pitot heater. We're going to be doing the left engine, so we're going to have this over to the leftmost side. As you can see, you can switch this. We want this all the way to the left. Right here we have the Luckenheimer dual engine primer. So left, on, and parking brake coming on. This is the parking brake. Final check looking around. We have the ladders. Everything is good, and the wheel chocks are on. It was actually good. We did this walk around real quick. Someone forgot to take this off. And I'm gonna pretend it wasn't me. I'm gonna blame someone else. That's how you do. So this engine, left. We are gonna prop full forward. I am using my keyboard for this, way easier. And throttle cracked just 10%. Just 10% forward. And I'm gonna prime this 3-4 times. So holding this and pull. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here we have the engine, the fuel pressure. So we're gonna pick the wobble pump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this builds up pressure. And you want this between 3 and 5. So it's fallen. So again, 3 and 5. 3 and 5. Wind up flywheel. And as we are waiting for the engine to basically heat up, the oil to heat up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start showing the rest of the cockpit, the aircraft. As soon as this shows up, you still have to wait a little bit, at least in my experience. When I try mashing the flywheel as soon as this lights up, it doesn't really quite work out for me. So, bam. And we have one good engine. One beautiful engine. And we can open this. It's quite loud, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful sound. Radio engines, they can be beautiful. So the employee automatically got rid of the ladder for us. The only thing they forget to get rid of is the wheel chocks. I don't know why. And we're basically gonna do the same thing for the right engine. So, Magneto, Luckenheimer primer, so off, right engine. We're gonna move this over. Not this, we're gonna move this over all the way to the right so we can monitor the temperature. Here we have the oil temperature on the left engine. It's rising. And that's good. That's really good for us. It should rise. So, holding this, pulling, 1, 2, 3, 4. Picking up the thingy. Pumping. We've got pressure, wind up flywheel. And now we have to maintain the pressure between 3 and 5. You gotta have a little bit of patience, and this is one of those aircrafts you really gotta learn. Can we start this now? Yes, we can. We have a second engine. Good start. And listen to this beauty. It's a little bit loud, so let's fix this for a bit. First time I was flying this, I was like, whoa, this is actually loud. So let's off. Let's go back to the engine number 1. We are at 200, and reminder, we want this between 200 and 350. So here, and I think here, I'm guessing it's like 200, 300, 400, so maybe here, maybe there. Manifold pressure is this thing right here. And we can basically switch between them like so. Fuel pressure. And one thing I really like about this is how the engine, the needles, they keep jumping up and down, up and down. It's like so realistic. It actually feels like the engine moving around, wobbling. It actually affects the instruments, and that's really nice. Really nice. Looking down here, did I forget anything here? We have the yoke, 2 good yokes, and this right here. I knew I was forgetting something. We can actually open this. We can actually open this. This is really nice. And now we can close this. And if we close just one of these, it doesn't open. So let's close. There we go. let's walk around as the engine heats up. The oil heats up. You do not want to take off on cold oil. We have a New York Times, Boeing, American Air Transport. We have the washroom, which we're going to be closing. It's a little bit awkward moving the mouse to close this and open sometimes. Kind of feels like it doesn't really want to do what my mouse is doing. I don't know why. And sometimes it works perfectly fine. I'm gonna blame this on user error. Boeing 247D. What are the oil temperatures looking like? Okay, 120, 100. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. And this is a majestic little bird. I did promise the VFR map, so here we have it. We are in Miami at... Let me get my paper. Kilo Charlie Oscar Foxtrot. Yep. Kilo Charlie Oscar Foxtrot KCOF. I was looking down. Can we taxi, please? I've got a full left rudder and it was not moving. Holding chart of the runway and clear left and clear right. Giving it a little bit of throttle. And this is where we're at again. So we're just going to be taking off from this runway, going a little bit south, staying in the area. Taxi is, I guess, okay. The ground handling is not the best. I imagine we don't really get any planes for the ground handling though, but it's not atrocious, it's just not the best. Okay, giving it some throttle. You can go in the red on the manifold, but I'm not gonna do that. And I'm full left rudder. We have quite a bit of wind. There we go. And speed is alive. I love how the actual aircraft feels. Like, the needles moving around, kicking around. It kind of feels like the instruments are shaking. It actually feels like the aircraft is alive and we're actually flying this. So here we have a gear indicator. Gear coming up. And the gear is coming up. It is beautifully animated. I will be dropping the gear again, just so I can show the indicator going up and down. And right here we have the gear. So neutral, down, and it's coming down. And it is fully down. Neutral, coming up. It is coming up. Now that it's up, neutral position. Very, very straightforward. Here we have the airport. This aircraft does not have an autopilot, so if you want to fly this for prolonged periods of time, you're gonna have to make use of the trims. So the elevator trim. So let's start letting go of the joystick. And let's start trimming this. The engine is oil pressure, temperature. It's not too hot. The engine itself. Wait, this is the manifold pressure. Yep. Manifold pressure. This is the temperature. There we go. Engine is good. Turning on our AC. So yeah, this was the AC in the old days. Back to trimming this. The response time on this is a little bit slow, so you have to be a little bit patient. There we go. It's basically a game of tuning the trim. Kind of want to keep along the coast and near the airport. You can stall this aircraft. I do advise though, if you want to stall this, if you want to see what it's like stalling this aircraft, make sure you have enough altitude. Now we can head back. And yes, we are going up. I'm gonna be dropping the speed and stalling this. I just want a little bit of altitude, which we do have actually. So pulling the throttle back a bit and pitching up. As you can see, our speed is going to drop quite a bit before we actually stall. A little bit of AC. And look at this speed. Getting close to 50 and we are still holding up. And dropping the left wing and we're stalling. Letting the wing drop, getting some speed and recovery. There we go. Adding throttle back. Luckily we're close to the airport, so we can do this once again. Doing some stalls. And trying to keep the wing. Nope. Dropping the left wing again. So this is the stall behavior you can expect on this aircraft. We can drop the landing gear. Nope. It was on neutral. Dropping the landing gear and the gear is coming down. and we're gonna be coming in to land. I will be making more videos on this aircraft. They do claim you can bend your propellers. They can get bent if you do a belly landing. I have not seen this. I tried doing one earlier and the sim detects a crash. So I assume you have to turn off the crash detection. So yeah, I have not done that. I have seen screenshots of people who have done that. So I do believe it's in. A little bit of fog. Engine temperature. Looking good. Oil. Good. As you can see, plenty of time to react. Let's close the window for this landing. And I'm gonna be showing one of my favorite things in this aircraft, and it's the landing. Okay, oil is looking good. As you come into land, you can start flaring up. You can start burning some speed and pulling the throttle back. There we go. Greased it. I'm not gonna pull the throttle all the way back. If you do, you're gonna kill the engine. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slam the brakes. There we go. Again. I'm holding the brakes and we are not nose diving. So this is something I really like. This is a tail dragger and we can actually brake when we're landing. I don't have paddles, I don't have rudder paddles, I cannot use any differential braking or just gently brake. I use a joystick and there's like a trigger, like a firing trigger for a fighter jet, and that's what I use for my brakes. So when you press this trigger, you brake all the way. So having an aircraft that is a tail dragger and allows me to use this without nosediving, that's really good. Full left rudder. Back and back. I forgot this. On that position, we have a little bit of wind here. This is actually the second time I opened up the Microsoft Flight Simulator. The first time I recorded the whole thing, I taxied into the runway and Microsoft Flight Simulator crashed. Sometimes the simulator crashes for me, I have no clue why. Usually it crashes on longer flights. Sometimes it crashes randomly. It's got nothing to do with the aircraft, at least I don't believe it does. Neutral and gear up. And yeah, I just loaded back in and I forgot to put this down. I'm gonna be rolling the aircraft for a bit so I can show how fast you can roll. This is a very heavy aircraft, so it's not really agile. So left, Yeah. I really like heavier aircrafts. So pulling my joystick all the way to the left and to the right, this is how fast you roll. So it feels quite heavy, which I like. Heavier aircrafts are a little bit better sometimes for longer hand flying. And this is an aircraft you're gonna have to hand fly. Right here, this is the gear warning system, and it basically goes off if your gear is up, like so, and neutral position. So if your gear is up and you pull your throttle back, you're gonna hear a warning like this one. And anytime now. There we go, that's the warning. So very close to cut off throttle, you get the warning. And I say cut off, we have 2 radio engines. And if you move the throttle all the way back, you're gonna cut the engines. And this is the Boeing 247D by Wing42. I've gotta say, I really recommend this aircraft. I feel like it's very worth buying. It is $20 US. It is extremely in-depth, as you can see. The textures, I did show them. The sound, you can pretty much hear the sound. This is what you get. But the systems, like the actual flying and taking care of the aircraft, I'm very impressed. It is money well spent, and I feel like it's really worth a buy. I will have a link for this aircraft in my description down below. At the moment, you can get this on the developer's website. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And I will be making more videos on this one. You can see how to start this. You can see what it does, how it flies, some of the features, but I will be doing more videos on this. And I'll be flying this a lot more, actually. I really liked this, but yeah. Thank you very much wherever you are. I hope you stay safe, fly safe. Bye bye.